Hello, I'm Conor Roberts and this is my media evaluation question 1. In what way does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media product? Firstly, the project I will be analysing was my music video. This was a music video for the track Already Blue by Sheffield-based indie electronica band Cath Auto. Our target audience consisted mainly of 16 to 24-year-olds of the indie subculture, and as a result we would have to look at real media texts which are similarly aimed at these audiences, such as Q Magazine, Kerrang and Toast, as well as artists such as Jack Johnson and Green Day. Our music video was of the indie genre, and this meant that certain connotations of this subculture had to be recognised and applied to our video. Daniel Chandler states that genres are a distinctive type of text, and as a result each genre has certain specific conventions. In this case, the genre was indie, and as a result we used artistic shots such as tracking shots, as well as effects such as slow-mo and a blue tint. These features were inspired by Oasis's Some Might Say music video, which features mainly in black and white. And because the music video sets a very indie tone throughout it, this shows how we follow these conventions and apply them to our own music video.
I'm cold and lonely. I'm already blue.
Rick Altman states that certain genres give certain pleasures, such as visual and intellectual pleasure. In our music video's case, we offered our audience an emotional pleasure through our narrative. A young teenage girl is dumped by her boyfriend and goes on a journey to get him back. This was inspired by the plot of Green Day's When I Come Around, which features a plot revolving around a group of heartbroken boys trying to win back their girls. This shows how we followed those conventions and applied them to our own music video.
Walk by sidelights you could show me. Don't hang me into a corner.
The way we showed the antagonist of the narrative through very dark and minimalistic footage makes him seem very mysterious and in some ways godlike. This way of representing him through medium close-ups was inspired by Bring the Horizon's Pray for Plague video, whereby the singer, Ollie Sykes, is only shown in very dark lighting and is the only character to have special effects applied to him, much like the antagonist in Ours. This made him look powerful and daunting, and we wanted to get that effect in our own music video.
Your feet are clay and true, and they belong to you. I am no knight to woo you. I'm already blue. Yes, I'm
We decided to end our music video on what Echo would call an open narrative, whereby the audience can then create their own theories as to what might have happened next. We think this was a good way to end the music video, as it looked very unique and indie, and would thus appeal to our target audience. This open narrative approach was again inspired by the equally open ending of Green Day's When I Come Around music video, showing how we use the conventions of other media texts to improve our own product. The shot types used in my music video were pastiched from past music videos of a similar genre, in order to look creative and convey meaning to my audience, or a preferred meaning. Shots such as this tracking shot were inspired by shots from the music video for Jack Johnson's The Horizon Has Been Defeated, which features many tracking shots of skylines in a similar style, such as this one here. In addition to this, the medium close-up shots for the lip-syncing shots were all inspired by a certain shot in the same Jack Johnson video, as we thought the quirkiness of it would better suit our target audience. However, we took the idea one step further by featuring this shot throughout the video, making a point to keep this eyeless character's identity a mystery. Here you can really see the similarity in proportion between the two shots, but also how we adjusted our lighting to create a more mysterious, weird effect. Similarly, shots such as this wide tracking shot were used to follow the protagonist of the narrative. The shot was initially inspired by this shot, from the video of the Green Day's When I Come Around. However, we decided to give the shot a higher angle to show the background of the shot and where she was heading, to portray her sorrow and loneliness to the audience. All these examples show how our use of shot types used conventions of real media text, but also how in some ways we challenged those bricolaged conventions through our own ideas. This ultimately supports Bentley's theory on creativity, which in his words is the rearranging of the old. In this case, the inspiration from other music videos helped us produce more creative ideas. This then ultimately supports Bennett, Slater and Wall's theory that all media production takes place in the light of other media production. We also use certain effects to give our video a more indie look to better suit our audience through what Walter Lippmann would call stereotyping. This is where I feel we really challenge the conventions found in media texts. For example, this strange blue effect that's very reminiscent of 80s special effects was used frequently throughout the video in a number of shots, mostly through close-ups and of the singer. The colour blue conveys sadness and sorrow, and this constant flashing creates a dull tone to the video to express this emotion to the audience. This strange, almost bacterial aesthetics of the effect make it sort of plague-like, a virus that won't go away. This original idea was one we felt was one of the more creative effects in our piece, as we felt the deep connotations behind it mean far more than just it looks cool. Also, the fact that this effect is mostly applied to the singer also creates a powerful, mysterious, deity-like star persona for him, in some ways creating what Carl Rogers would call an ideal self, especially for male viewers. This shot in particular makes the singer look ghostly, almost godlike. The blue filter was applied to just about every shot in order to create a cold, sorrowful atmosphere, as we had already established that the colour blue connotes these things. When this filter was combined with sun glare and slow motion effects, it created a really atmospheric tone throughout the piece. We felt this challenge forms and conventions of real media text, because although some music videos may use this effect also, we really thought about it, about the messages it implied, and exploited it to our audience as they would understand it. This supported Bennett, Jones and McDougall's theory, which states that all students should identify a clear audience. We also use slow motion and time-lapse effects to show the passing of time and to exaggerate dramatic moments in the story. When combined with the upped brightness and contrast to obtain a silhouette effect, this was really effective. In fact, we used the brightness and contrast tool to our advantage to create an almost dreamlike state to the shots. This contrast was also upped in flashback shots to make the transition more clear. We believe that the use of these simple effects was really innovative and creative, and challenged conventions of other media text. For costumes, we asked our protagonist, Lauren, to wear very stereotypical indie clothing. Features such as her red hair, coat, jeans and Converse shoes all portrayed a meaning to our audience. Her trendy, stylish dress sense would then convey what Carl Rogers would call an ideal self or ideal partner for our audience, and even in some cases to create what Laura Mulvey would call a male gaze. We did this to attract our target audience, to appeal to them, in the same way Cheryl Cole of Slipknot used that image herself. I think as a result, this showed how we used real media text to improve our own, and these artists inspired us to use the techniques they rely on so much. Finally, we used very urban locations for filming, as the suburban streets, lonely woods, fields and parks would be more relatable to our audience, who will mostly have been brought up in a middle-class background and will have grown up in these surroundings. We used videos such as Green Day's When I Come Around as inspiration, as this video features mostly in a suburbia. This shows how we used conventions of real media texts. And that concludes question 1 of my media evaluation. Cheers for watching.